Hello YouTube and welcome to GrunfWorks Plays Naval Action, when today we will be looking at another ship, Belle Poule. Now, what it is to say about a ship that had even a hairstyle named after it? Well, we're gonna get to that briefly, but Belle Poule is a frigate and it's in the class of the 5th rates in Naval Action, and as you can see, it's downright gorgeous. I mean, I really like the model of the ship, it's really beautiful, and if you really like such a design, I suggest giving her a look, if for nothing else, for the beauty's sake. Anyway, now let's talk a little bit about the Belle Poule in history. I'm gonna post a link to the wiki in the description, but let me just give you a couple of highlights. Belle Poule was a French frigate of the Dédaigneuse class, I hope I pronounced that correctly, which was built by Léon Michel Jouygans, and it was built in Bordeaux between March 1765 and early 67. It is most famous for her duel with the British frigate HMS Arethusa on the June 17th, 1778, which began the French involvement in the American War of Independence as well. Now, the ship itself, as we said, it was built in Bordeaux, and she served 2 campaigns in the West Indies. Now, in the January of 1778, Belle Poule was selected to ferry Silas Deane back to America after her campaign in the West Indies, and it was to be done along with the news of the French-American alliance. So on the 7th January, the British ships of the Hector and Courageous stopped her and demanded the inspection. And in spite of overwhelming superiority of the British forces, her captain, Charles de Bernard de Marigny, answered, "I am the Belle Poule, the frigate of the King of France. I sail from the sea and I sail to the sea. Vessels of the King, my master, never allow inspections." So basically the British offered apologies and let the frigate sail through. However, the opposing winds prevented the ship from crossing the Atlantic, and after 36 days Belle Poule had returned to Brest. Franklin later sailed to America aboard the Sensible. Now, a little bit from the fight of the Belle Poule and the Arethusa, as the wiki states. So when the war broke out, the Belle Poule was sent on a reconnaissance mission along with a 26-gun frigate Licorne and the corvette Hirondelle, and the smaller Coureur to locate the squadron of Admiral Keppel. They encountered the British squadron, which chased them. Arethusa caught up with the French and a furious battle ensued. Eventually, Arethusa had to break off the fight, having lost her main mast. The British captured the smaller and the French ship, but the 2 frigates escaped the numerous ships of the line pursuing them. Belle Poule lost 30 and which were killed and 72 wounded, among her which her captain, Lieutenant Jean-Isaac Chandot de la Clocheterie. Sorry for my pronunciation, I'm hoping I'm reading this right. But Arethusa had lost 8 men killed and 36 wounded. But the battle was so famous that the ladies of the high society invented the hairstyle Belle Poule with a ship on top of the head. I really wonder if it was an accurate model and if it was scaled. But, I mean, carrying a ship on your head, well, good luck, ladies. Anyway. Between the September of the 1778, Belle Poule teamed up with the French ship Vengeur and they captured 5 privateers in 1779. It served as a coast guard and convoy escort. Now, the ship was eventually captured by the British. So, in the evening of the 14th of July, 1780, Captain Sir James Wallace of the 64-pound gunship of the line, Nonsuch, was off the Loire when her boats were burning the French frigate Légère. He observed 3 vessels on the northwest signaling to each other and immediately gave chase. At about midnight, Nonsuch caught up with one of the 3 off the Ile d'Yeu and commenced the 2-hour action. So when the French frigate vessel struck, she turned out to be Belle Poule, and she was armed with 32 12-pounder guns. She had a crew of 275 men and was under the command of Chevalier Querigot Coatel. In the engagement, Belle Poule lost 25 men killed, including Querigot, and 50 other officers and men, including her second captain, wounded. Nonsuch had lost 3 men and 10 wounded, 2 of them which later died. And the 2 French vessels that escaped were the frigate Aimable and the 32, and it had 32 8-pounder guns, and the corvette Rossignol of 26-pounder guns. So, in the British service, she was commissioned in February 1781 into the British Royal Navy, where she retained her name, and she served for the next 25 months under the Captain Philip Patton, with William Bligh as the ship's master. She also helped capture a couple of ships, and participated in the 1781 Battle of the Dogger Bank, Hollandia, and one of the Dutch ships of the line sank during the battle. Belle Poule took away her flag, which was kept flying, and it carried it to Admiral Parker. Now, her fate was sealed, I believe, in 1801, when the Admiralty sold her for the breaking up. Now, enough about the history of the ship. Let's talk about a little bit of ship that we are playing today. It is basically pretty decent all-round frigate, and it has 12-pounder cannons. So it's kind of hard to compare her because armor and rating wise she is already in the rank of the frigate, pirate frigate, and a little bit subclass part to the Trincomalee, but definitely stronger than the Surprise, Renommée, and definitely Cerberus. Now, it has a little higher battle rating than the frigate, and it has a little bit more armor on the sides, but when comparing to her number of total guns, she is pretty much on par, 40 guns for the frigate and Belle Poule, but the problem with her cannons is that they are of the lower caliber, because she has 12-pounders, and the frigate, which is already in the same class, has 18-pounder cannons. So her good size is that it's best all-around 12-pounder frigate. It has more hit points and hull shape than to the similar, and also it has her hull shape is a little bit similar to the Renommée, so it's angled. So this should result in many more bounces than the standard frigate, and it is pretty easy to sail, forgiving with tacking. However, if you try to go a little bit too much into the wind, you are severely punished by speed. The downside is that it has no bow chasers, which is, I guess, a significant downside if you're trying to, and it also has weaker turn rate than the frigate and the pirate frigate, which is a little bit daunting. Now, when we compare her with the frigate and the pirate frigate, it is a bigger target than both of those, actually, and I assume that it's due to its length. So you have to be a little bit more careful because you're easier target, that's for sure. So let's now focus a little bit on the battle here, and as you can see, in the battle I'm duking it out with John de Berry, who is sailing a frigate. So despite me having lighter armament, I am still able to do decent damage, and my angled hull helps me in terms of getting bounces off my hull. Well, not in this case, obviously. But so far, the battle is progressing in my favor, because I'm sailing only against one ship. And The good thing is that since my guns are of the lower caliber, they are being reloaded more quickly. I definitely have more health than John the Berry over there in the frigate, or more hit points, and my cannon, and he has weaker hull, meaning my cannons should be able to penetrate and do decent damage. Now the only thing that I found a little bit misleading and hard actually is that you're in a similar fashion as the Renome. When you're aiming with the cannons that are on the weather deck that are close to the end. There are no cannons at the beginning of the ship's weather deck. So yeah, that's a little bit harder when it comes to fighting with it. But I mean, just look at that model. It's down. I mean, it's just gorgeous. Okay, so when it comes to the beauty of these fifth rates, especially like heavier frigates, Belle Poule is definitely my choice when it comes to beauty. I mean, Renome being the lighter, but when it comes to the firepower, and usability, it's definitely the pirate frigate. Anyway, let us go back to the fight. Oh, and also, by the way, guys, this is still a little bit older footage, but thankfully I'm coming next week home, and I will see if I can crank another naval action video for you. I don't know if it will be older or newer content, but I will for sure. I'm looking forward to playing some more naval action. By the way, this Belle Poule that I was been reviewing, since I wanted to push out the reviews quite earlier, it's basically a bought from the market. It's not exceptional or anything like that. So in game, after I'm done the 5th rate reviews, I sold all of my ships and I bought an exceptional surprise, which I'm sailing as of today. And I will be sailing when I come back. So yeah, despite me reviewing bigger ships, I will be sailing my trusty surprise for some time to come. I'm here trying to dismast actually the pirate or the frigate, but later on I figured there is no really point of doing that, and I just continued to pound it with a ball and hopefully sink it. This fight is clearly going in my favor. Unlike the last that I've posted in the battles, that one was a really tense one. But I mean, if you just look at the ship, it's amazing. I really enjoyed sailing on the Belle Poule, and I'm probably thinking I might consider having one once I get my crew upgraded, because right now when I was doing recording, I was sailing it mildly undercrewed. I had 247 of the 275, I believe, or something like that. So definitely I will check it out once I get a higher rank. Okay, with that being said, I am managing to keep at the John the Berry's stern, which I'm trying now to pummel with hot lead. My cannons are reloaded, focus on gunnery is there, and okay, oh, it looks like we have a forward cannon. Sorry guys, I might have missed that. Okay, and fire. Nope, lower. Fire. And fire. Okay, we have taken out some cannons, obviously. A little bit more damage. Cool. Yeah, by the way guys, if you are playing on the PvP server 1, I do invite you to give me a shout. I might play with you or against you, never know. As you know, I've announced I'm sailing with Barely Afloat. Their short name is, I believe, Sink, which sometimes corresponds even well and gels well with my kind of gameplay and style. Not that I'm kind of trying to play submarines or anything. But the bunch that I'm playing with, they're really cool. They're, let's say, a little bit more casual people, but they do all the raids and all the fun stuff. So I'm really looking forward to playing with them when I get back. And if you are in a search of a good clan, you might want to give them a shout. Yeah, yeah, so definitely keeping my trails on the... I'm trying hard to port, getting ready to fire, and almost there, and fire. Also, by the way, I believe my fleet guys are still sailing from the town of Concepcion. So yeah, if you're around, give us a shout. R to port. Come on, load my guns. And ooh, this will be devastating. Angle is not the best, but still it's close enough that most of the shots will penetrate. Beautiful broadside, and okay. So I'll probably post out maybe some of the older footage regarding the frigate and the pirate frigates, which are based off the model, I believe, Cherubim. Yeah, I really do like the design of the French ships. They are a little bit weaker armor than the British ones, but I found them to be aesthetically pleasing. And this game is, come on, Age of Sail, beautiful ships. You really want to have beautiful ships, that's for sure. By the way, during my stay in France, I also visited the port of Saint-Malo, where I actually encountered one of the replicas for the historic ship. I might be posting it in the comments below. I think it was pretty cool to actually see like some historic ships, and I think it was a frigate. I'm just looking if I can find... and the frigate that I found there, I just googled it, is L'Étoile du Roi, which is like now, it's doing the tourist tours, which sadly I didn't have a chance to go on, but and it's a replica of the frigate called Grand Turk, which I believe among you guys who are the fans of Age of Sail, if it doesn't say anything, let me tell you, this is the ship that acted in the Horatio Hornblower series, and I think it was playing the Indefatigable and some other, I'm not exactly sure which one, but definitely, interesting thing to check. If you're like in France, in Bretagne or Brittany, where I was, go to Saint-Malo and check it, and you might even want to subscribe and go like for a day tour or just go aboard the ship. Okay, I think that our engagement is coming to a close pretty soon, given the state of our frigate friend. So, let's see, come on, oh, and he's firing, but, yeah, some bounces, some hits, but as you can see, my armor is pretty much, few scratches and bumps and paintwork needs to be redone, but other than that I have no major cause for concern. So his 18-pounder didn't really do much, and by the way here guys, I'm using the 12-pounder long guns here. A little longer reload time but higher penetration. I always prefer for that one rather than the reload time, and especially I think it will be more important once you get actually the updated models. Okay, let's see. Okay, good hits and fire. It's now my John the Berry's port side armor is completely destroyed. Its rudder is basically bananaed, and now I'm pounding his starboard side in attempt to send him to Mr. Davy Jones. which I believe he will be coming soon. And we have a daybreak. Oh, what a beautiful way to start a day, by sinking a frigate. Well, why the hell not? So, come on, reload. It would be so satisfying to put another broadside into his bow. Yes, fire. Oh, come on. And my ship had to heal just now. Oh, well, I guess you can have them all. Oh yeah, she's definitely sailing low in the water, so a couple of more shots and she's done for. Anyway, guys, I think I'm gonna call it for this episode. Like, if you like the episode, hit subscribe for more naval action content that will be coming very soon, and some fresh content, I hope. And yeah, so let's just quickly sync this one, and let me know in the comments below what would you like to see. Anyway, guys, thank you very much for watching. This is GrunfWorks signing off.